In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of my personal favorite animes, Re:Zero. But specifically, why does Subaru love Emilia over him? And no, I'm not a scientist, I don't have some type of degree in this, and I'm damn sure not a writer. But regardless, I still think I know why. So this is why he likes Emilia, as well as some things that are working against Rim. So I hope you enjoyed the video, let's hop into it. And of course, let me know what you think down below. First off, I gotta say, I think Subaru likes Felix. Wait, don't go anywhere, that was a joke, okay, I'm serious now, let's go. But seriously, why is it? I don't think Rim would leave Subaru, and we know for a fact that Rim would lay her life on the line for the man. If death is what it took to protect that goofy son of a gun, Subaru, she would do it. But he still chooses Emilia. And I have multiple different reasons why I think this. First off, I think Subaru has the love at first sight syndrome. I don't know if that's a professional term, but let me explain. He's in a brand new place, he has no idea where he is. Quite literally a brand new world. And the first girl that he stumbles upon is Emilia. And not only is that the first girl that he stumbled upon, that's the first one that was nice to him. So you have two things working in this part of the theory. She's the first girl that he met, as well as the first person that was nice to him and actually went out of her way to help him. So in a way, you can almost frame it as a savior complex, where in his head he's in love, but in reality, he has a deep-seated connection, almost as if she saved him, which she did. And a matter of fact, he even states something like this in the story, among the lines of, "You did so much for me, you don't even know." So personally, I think that plays a huge factor in the reason that he's so stuck on her, being the first person he laid eyes on, almost love at first sight-esque, as well as almost feeling owing to her from the moment he was there. And also, Emilia was the first person to set out with him on his grand adventure, almost like the first person to join his party. The first person he could call a real ally. In other words, simping for a reason. Moving on, I think he sees her as a chase. And this is what I mean. You know how some people work all the time, they become workaholics to distract themselves from everyday things? Almost no vacation, sleep and work. Well, in this specific theory, he falls almost into that same category in my opinion. He's a normal human in a crazy world with magic and stuff. He has no idea why he's there. And part of what could be keeping him sane is the fact that he has a love interest and somebody to keep him going. Somebody to work for and somebody to keep his mind off of all the craziness that's going on around him. The absurdity of the world that he is in. And she may very well be the goal that's keeping him intact right now. Part of the reason he hasn't gone completely off the deep end, even though he technically has already, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that was my other reason. He might be using her as a grounding mechanism. And by the way, every single one of the points that I'm making right now can all coincide. They're not mutually exclusive. One of them can be true, two of them can be true, all of them can be true at the same time actually. So, and this is probably the most obvious reason for him liking Emilia. He sees her as genuine. Someone who doesn't have to have something given to her for her to give back. In a world of negotiation, I give you something, you must give me something, she was one of the only people who legitimately go out of her way to help others without expecting anything in return. Even though she tries to frame it like she does, like it's equal value, but we all know it isn't. And of course, this was most obvious in the first episode, when she opted to save him from the muggers as well as heal him afterward. Of course, disguising it as her trying to get information out of him, and that was the exchange. But Subaru knew this and saw right through it, and he sees her as a very genuine person who just cares. And that leads to him simply just admiring her, and to be quite frank, putting her on a pedestal, which is completely understandable. Okay, so this is the main thing that kind of gives Rim a disadvantage in my opinion. Exclusive to Rim, has nothing to do with Emilia. And to be honest, this is pretty obvious in my opinion. you let me know what you think. Don't you think he would get some type of mental block from getting too attached to her, maybe even loving her, whenever she went out of her way and killed him? Regardless of the fact if it was justified, let's say me and you went out on a date, right? One of us killed each other. Something tells me we wouldn't go back out on a second date, even if I got to come back to life. Like, yep, definitely not doing that again. And don't get me wrong, I don't think he holds it against her. It's just a subconscious thing that I think personally is working against her in the long run. Subaru might not give you insight to what all he's thinking and everything that he does, but I guarantee you he's probably had a nightmare about that situation. And to be honest, I couldn't come up with a lot of things that really go against Rim here, besides that, to be honest. But if there's one more thing that's going against her, I have to say, it's the most basic anime thing of all time, and you're gonna agree if you've watched any number of anime, or a certain sample size. But to put it simply, she has short hair. And the short hair girls always lose in anime, or at least 90% of the time. Anyways, this is Sensei Shriz, and in my opinion, that's why Subaru chooses Emilia over Rim. Let me know what you think down below. Did I miss any points? Do you disagree on any of it? I love having discussions down in the comments, and especially about my favorite isekai. Also, let me know if you just enjoyed the Re:Zero videos. I'll have 4 videos up on the screen, all different from each other. Click one and you might just enjoy.